Good morning, everyone. I would like to speak to you this morning about grief and how we handle it. There are so many different forms of grief, and a lot of times when we're going through grief, we don't even know it. We don't even recognize it. Grief is difficult for anyone to handle. And the first thing I'd like to bring up insofar as grief are the different sorts of losses that we as human beings face. None of them are easy. Now, the first loss that I want to speak about is that of a parent or parents. When a parent dies, you lose your anchor. The person or persons who brought you into this world are gone. And sometimes you feel like a ship without a sail when you lose a parent. And when you lose your mother, the void that is left is mammoth, and it can never be filled by another person. So, how do you get through that? One day at a time. The unbelievable shock will leave you floored. What can you do while your parents are still alive? Fill as much of your days with them, making beautiful and good memories. Because when they're gone, they're gone. But if you have good memories, that will provide you with comfort. The other loss is the loss of a child. When a child dies, it is the worst of the worst. It is, for those who have not experienced it, it is unimaginable. And personally, when I went through it, I would not wish that on my worst enemy. Because it is a horrific experience. How do you get through that? Grief counseling helps because it helps you to understand what you're feeling. Now, there are so many stages to grieving: shock, denial, anger, and then acceptance. The final stage, acceptance, is when you don't get over it, but somehow you learn to live with it. And you lose a child, the pain is always going to be there. But you learn to live with the pain and accept it. Shock and denial, you can't believe it happened. And you're in shock. Denial means refusal to accept it. Anger, there are people who've lost a child who have gotten angry with God even. And you walk out the front door after you lose a parent or a child, and you see the world is still going on, still moving forward. And it's almost like part of you says, how dare the world continue to move on? How dare the wind continue to blow when I've lost my loved one? Because my world has stopped. But the world hasn't stopped. And what most grief counselors will tell you to do is you need to get out in that world to remind yourself that you're still in the world. You're still part of the world. And that person is still part of you. The other loss is for a spouse or a boyfriend, but maybe the love of your life. That too is difficult because how do you move on when you have had the love of your life in your life? Who can measure up to that? But again, there's someone else out there for you eventually. Maybe not right now, but at some point. When you lose a good friend, when a good friend passes away, you lose another touchstone. But again, you have to move forward and make new friends. And another loss that, in fact, we're all experiencing it right now is the loss of someone like Kobe Bryant. And people say, well, you didn't know this person. No, maybe some of us did not know him personally. But he was part of our lives, part of all of our lives. He was, every time he would make a basket, we were jumping up in the air with him. When he had problems and we heard about them, we were worried for him. When he retired, we were sad to see him go. And when he first came into the Lakers as a kid, we remember that kid, as we can call him, thrust into the national spotlight. And he didn't disappoint us. When he married, when he had children, we were part of that. So yeah, we felt like we knew him. And we feel that way about other people who happen to be celebrities. And we're sad about it. And it's okay to be sad about that. Just think, at 41 years old, how much he had accomplished. So while we mourn his loss, we should also be comforted by the many happy memories he gave us. And the same with our parent, our child, our friend. We have to focus on the good memories. Because within that, a parent, a friend, a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend may have been the best friend that you had. And you're left with no one to share your secrets with. No one to comfort you, no one to laugh with. No one to fill that empty space. Prayer helps. Getting involved in the world again helps. and honoring their memory by continuing to live your life because you know that they loved you and they would want you to be happy, to live life, and to move forward. They will always be a part of you. It's, parents and children, but also friends and spouses and boyfriends and girlfriends. They will always be a part of you. So much of them is within you. And as you live, so do they. Honor them with a happy life. And yes, you miss them. Again, happy memories make the difference. And those who are blessed to have all of these people in their lives, again, fill your days with happy memories and love. Give your child a hug and say, I love you. Go to dinner with your parent and laugh and have a good time. Because it's those memories, those happy memories, that will comfort you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone.